Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Backpack Trader Training Room for Tuesday, March the 4th, 2025. Please note the required risk disclosure. This room is for educational and information purposes only. It is not to be considered individual financial advice. Trading of this type carries substantial risks and should only be attempted with funds you can afford to do without. All right. This is the only session today, so we'll do away with that. Crude avoided both of these shorts. Get in sync on the first one, and that one touched and bounced up in about 4 seconds. So no trades there. Okay, Unleaded just stopped out on its second trade. First trade was unfortunately a full loss. No way to avoid that get in sync. So that's a 52 tick risk, 104 loss. Comes back. Second trade hits target one. Target one traders pick up 42. So you're down 62. And trailer comes in at 837 from the entry at 842. So you get 5 ticks there. And so you're down 57. Target 2 traders get 5 times 2 or 10 ticks. You're down 92. Soybeans has a get in sync short. YM has gone too far on its short. That's going to be a look for a new trade there. Also looking for a new trade on the short on the micro Russell. Pound Aussie went to the money management, didn't quite make it to target 2, 1 pip away. Entry at 442 and stopped out at 443. So 5 pip break even trade. Micro Russell continuing down, as is the 1M, so no trades yet there. All right, the YM stops out. Soybeans got in sync, so soybeans is short. YM and the Micro Russell both. YM actually with a short trade now. It went too fast. That was going to be too fast to catch. Plenty big enough, but too fast. So that's a no trade. Popped through the entry in 2 seconds. And just went on down. Unleaded with another short. I would take that stop up to 1846. Hide it behind the 200 EMA and the minor key level. And a long trade on the. It's happening quickly this morning. Long trade on the YM. It looks like it's going to go for a full stop out. And does in fact go for a full stop. Through to the short trade. And a quick short trade on the YM. Now that's another no trade, too fast. So taking the full stop out of the long. Down 74. Root in the short. Micro Russell just going headed down. And target 1 and target 2. Target 1 was 39. Target 2 was 61. So target 2 traders down 31. 1781 for the trailing stop. Target 1 traders got 39. You were down 61. No, 57. That's right. So you're down 18. And we've got a trailer at 81. And the entry at 93. So, oh, 12 ticks on that trailer. So just 6 ticks from being break even on for target 1 traders. All right. Another long trade on the YM. Looking like a trending day, but can't get away from these longs. Looks to me like we're probably going to end up with a short here, but it's going to be a small one. Yeah, there it is at 19, and plenty of time to get in that, so we should be in that trade. Yeah, 25 ticks, so 2 minimum target. And we have a short trade on the micro Russell that takes a full stop out. Oh my, and we stop and reverse to stopped and reversed to short. Now we stop and reverse back to long. $46. And that's a no trade on micro Russell. It touched the entry, went to the stop, and came back to the entry. So that's a no trade. YM picking up the target, 28 ticks. Stop will come to 47. And now trailing 59. Unleaded stops out at 71. 93 is 22. That'll get target 1 traders positive. Target 2 traders unfortunately pick up the short at 72. It looks like 70. Yeah, 72. Target 2 traders We're down 31, so down 11. And in the long. So we have unleaded long and crude short. Not an ideal situation there. One of those two is not going to do as well. And there's another target one on the YM. Another 25 ticks this time. And that stops out. We go long on the YM. Trade number 5 on the YM. Soybeans taking heat. Micro Russell with a short. I'll move down 1 tick. Minimum 14 ticks for money management. YM with a full stop out on the long. One more trade. And the final trade is a long. Triggers in. Soybeans with a potential add-on short. We're still in the original short from way back here. Get in sync from 8:45. Actually 7:45 Central is the exchange time. Our start time was 8:30 Central. And they've hit. Unfortunately, full stop out on the Micro Russell. Now we have a long trade. Bouncing around so much I've lost track of how many trades we've taken on the Micro Russell. And that one's got a wick on it. And that takes a full stop out. That was the third loss, so that ends the session for the micro Russell. I will put unleaded up there so we can take a look at micro NQ. Wait, ooh, micro NQ's been active. Wait 4 minutes. Timestamps are in Eastern. Exchange time is Central, so it would be 8:34 would be our start time, Central time. That's going to be our start time. Got a wick on that. Seven seconds to the top of that bar. I'd say we should be in that one most likely. It's possible you may not have been able to execute. Most of you should have been able to execute that. So that one goes for a target 2 win. Reverses without adjustment. That's going to be a full loss. Too fast on that one. No trigger on that short. I would say that one is very likely avoidable. 7 seconds from the close of that bar to the close of the bar that stopped out. And 5 seconds from the setup to the close of this bar. So 12 seconds and you're down here. Most likely that was not a trade you could have taken. I'm sure that's the case for this one. But we've gotten into this long. 08, 09, 10, 11. Still just 3 seconds into it. 5 seconds. 10 seconds to hitting target one, so that one's going to be too fast to execute. That's only 7 seconds. Now, unfortunately, you catch that one on the way back up for a full loss. So that's 2 full losses, a win and 2 losses. Definitely in this trade on the long side. That is a target 2 win. All right, you got a wick back 9 seconds after, so you should be in that trade. No adjustment on the stop and reverse. And that is win number 3 against 2 losses. That goes to target 3. And he's now trailing. So we get target 3. Do we get target 4? Yes, we do. So that's going to get us win number 3, but that'll get us pretty close to break even. Possible long trade. 5 seconds to target one. That one's not tradable. Oops. Yeah, that was it. So there's a break even for trade number 6 if it's tradable. And there's a wick that'll get you in. So that one hits money management and it's a break even for trade number 6. 3 wins, 2 losses, and a break even. In about 6 minutes. And we do stop and reverse to long on soybeans. All right, we get just a little bit of an over break even on the YM. And that's the final trade there, so that's going to be a losing session. Soybeans would be in this long from 88.5. I'll pull unleaded back down here since micro Russell is done, or micro NQ rather. Okay, the long trade stops and reverses at 14. One tick above the stop, the trailing stop, so that's where the original stop of the prior trade. Not a good trade for the crude on the short trade. It's target one, so the first trade, only trade of the morning so far, and that's going to get us the power of quitting on crude. 5 minutes from 10 o'clock. There's money management on unleaded. This is for target 2 traders only. Risk there was 59, so we ended up stopping out for 58. $116, 120, down 125. Target 2 is worth 83 on this trade, so if it goes to target, we'll be in pretty good shape. No other trades on the pound Aussie. And good morning, Sammy. One and done on cloud control this morning. Sorry, it's been a little busy. I didn't see your comment. Two possible trades on crude this morning on Spotlight. Both of them too fast to execute. One was a get in sync right at start time. The other one, about 6 minutes after, I think it was. And we finally got into this short, 932. That one has hit both targets. So the trade is done for us, 17 and 27, 44 ticks. One and done session. It took a while. Soybeans is long after a stop and reverse. Trailing stop is a prior trade stop at the moment. We need to get down to target 2. Nothing doing at target 1. Target 1 traders got done. Not positive. Kind of a noisy session. Michael Russell, three losses ending that session. YM, and it's probably a small loss on that on 6 trades. Unleaded, trying to fight for a positive session, or at least a break-even session here. And we took a full stop on that trade. Target 1 and a partial on this one. Targets 1 and 2 on this trade. That got target 1 traders positive. Target 2 traders were still down 9 ticks. And you took almost a full loss on this one. So we're down 1, 2, 3, 4. In trade number 5. There is a filtered short on soybeans. That is the trend mode preventing us from taking a stop and reverse against the trend indicator, so that blue line would have to turn red before we can take a short. All right, stop down to 11 now on unleaded. 17.11. It's 3 ticks. Not much when you're down 125. We really need that 88. Get us down to 30. 37. Actually 83. So it'd be down 42. I have not traded coffee, Sammy. Coffee is kind of similar to soybeans. The contract on soybeans is essentially every 2 months. And that's probably something similar to what soybeans and coffee is. Since I don't use the letter designations in NinjaTrader, I'm not that familiar with them. But H is January. No, F is January, isn't it? Soybeans has actually five different contracts through the year. H is March. All right. K would be May, I believe. So that's going to be March, May, June, I think. And then it may skip to October and December. But look for a second set of contracts on that. But what I would play with is, if you're looking at it, is go back in and look at your volumes and take a look at when transition actually happens. Which that is kind of similar to the way soybeans ends up setting up. Right, January, March, and actually, I bet we're in April. All right. Yeah, I should be in May on soybeans anyway. I didn't watch that. Yeah, it transitioned a couple of days ago. Yeah, it looks like it transitioned about the 27th, maybe even a little sooner than that. Yeah, about 19th, about 20th is usual transition. I wasn't keeping up with that last week very carefully. So we should be in April on soybeans. This is not a correct chart. No, not April, May. That's why the volume was getting so low. And unleaded getting target 2. That's 83 ticks. We're down 42. And trailer is now down to 666. Let's see, target 1 was 662, so that's 4 ticks. 52.48. So this is going to get positive. This will get target 2 to marginally positive, and there's another move down. Definitely positive. 56 from 14. It's 44.58. Down 40, so 16 ticks positive. The exclamation probably has to do with production, harvest time and production, but it's basically bi-monthly. But then I would look for some soybeans has some contracts that come in a little differently, like August, September are on different schedules. But what I found is that the volumes on them ended up not being significant to the next contract that came up on the 5 that it showed up. But I'm sure it has to do with when production typically is, and the soybeans probably follows U.S., but coffee, there's not a lot of coffee production in the U.S., so it's probably tuned to the harvests elsewhere. But I would say go into the CME website and do some reading on the soybean, or not soy, on the coffee contracts. That should give you a little bit better idea of how they lay out. But the key that I looked at when working with soybeans, when cloud control was building, was went back and looked at volume, which makes it even more interesting, because then you got to get to another data set. So that's typically going to be a little bit. Your data is going to be another cost of doing that one. Okay, soybeans didn't get in sync. Got into the long trade. Hit all 3 targets and trailed out at 1,000 and a quarter and 1/4. So we pick up 7, 13, and 18 ticks. That's 20, 38. Entry is 997 to 1,000 and a quarter is 3, 12, 13 ticks there. 38 and 13 is 50, 51 ticks. 4 3/4 points. Yeah, I understand that. YM wouldn't be a bad one. Of course, you're still in YM or MYM. You're often still in crude at that point, but it's probably late enough that you're not nearly in crude nearly as much. But you're really wanting something that's going to trade typically after Because crude sometimes, as crude on cloud control, I've seen it go to noon before y'all finish the session. So you have to be cognizant of that as well. So soybeans got it done today. One and done. When you get on the right contract, that was my fault. But yeah, most times I would probably take a look at YM or MYM either at 8:30 Central, or maybe wait a couple of minutes, try to let it settle down. That or Michael Russell is another possibility. Both of those would start 8:30 Central, which would give you about 40 minutes for crude before you tried to start another market. The advantage that the soybeans or coffee gives you is that they're typically not as fast moving. So they're something you can trade fairly easily at alongside something else. But it looks like, yeah, because March, May, July, October, and December would be my guess there. I'd have to go look at that myself. Crude pushing hard down now. So soybeans is done, the YM is done, everything's done except unleaded, which is in its final trade, and pound Aussies. But soybeans runs January, March, May, July, November, and November, I believe it is. Well, it sounds like it's a little different than soybeans or than coffee, but it's probably similar reasoning. I used to have the CME on here somewhere. There we are. Take a look at this. Let's see. That's our holiday calendar. Probably commodities, maybe agriculture. Here we go. Well, that doesn't tell me anything. Okay, trades in 5/10,000ths of a dollar, so 5/100ths of a penny. 23 monthly contracts for March, May, July, September, December. Okay, yeah, there you go. So it's got 5 contracts, five contracts during the year. Skips January. Now it's got 2 places where it goes 3 months, 2 months, March, May, July, September. Then it goes December. It goes quarterly from September, December, and March. So it's just slightly different. So the tick value is 18 $18.75 a tick. And a tick is 5/100 of a penny, so it's basically 20 ticks to the penny. No, a tick is 0.0005. 3 zeros and a 5. It's not 5 cents. It's 5/100 of a cent. Here's your minimum price fluctuation right there. Five 10,000ths of a point. So it would be 200 ticks to a point. It's 37,500 pounds is the contract amount, and it's priced in dollars and cents per pound. So that's why you get into the 10,000ths of a dollar. Yeah, that's going to be the other side of it. Is you got to add additional data to what you're already looking at. That's one of the reasons that soybeans is a good possibility, because it's already on the CME. Or yeah, it's on CME, it's not on ICE. It's on one of the CME platforms. All right, unleaded stopped out at 561. 714. So 139, 149, 153 ticks on the trailer. Big move on crude. Nothing doing on pound Aussie. Does that help, Sammy? Do you see where that $18.75 a tick comes from? It's 37.5 divided by the 200 ticks per dollar. No, I guess it's not 200, it's 2,000. Yeah. Yeah, that's where your 18.75 a tick comes from. It's 2,000 ticks per point. Yeah, it's 20 times 100. So yeah, it's 2,000 ticks. Yeah, if a tick was 5 cents, 20 ticks per point. Trade plan for what? Coffee? There very well might be. But there are trade plans on soy. There's a trade plan on soybeans on the counterpunch site. I know that's what I'm running in the room. I don't think we. There was a group of us that was doing some work on a soybeans trade plan for cloud control, but I don't know that it ever got completed. Soybeans is not quite. That's 18.75 is pretty steep. Uh, Soybeans is like 12.50 a tick. Yeah, that's like unleaded is in 10 thousandths of a point as well. In fact, its tick size is 1/10,000th rather than 5/10,000ths. But the deliverable there is 1,000 barrels, which is 42,000 gallons, and the pricing is dollars and cents per gallon to get there. Which is where the $4.20 a tick comes from. 42,000 divided by 10,000. And crude, same thing. It's priced at dollars per barrel, so it's just straight, and it's 1,000 barrel. Full crude contract is 1,000 barrels. Micro crude is, I believe it's 100 barrels, but it's financially settled versus micro is financially settled versus crude, which is actually a deliverable. It's not just financially settled. So you actually, if you hold a contract, you either have to deliver or take delivery of 1,000 barrels per contract. So if you're not gonna have crude on the full contract, you definitely need to either roll the contract or close it before the contract expires, or you'll have to either deliver or receive. But the micros, and of course all of the market indices are cash settled. Yeah, no, that's a good thing to do. I'm just trying to help with some of the pieces of information you need for that decision. Trying to think of some of the other things we've looked at. Gold is a possibility. I don't remember that much about the trade plans we've looked at for that. But yeah, if it works, then the data cost is minimal if you've got a good trade plan. But you've got the data cost to get the trade plan built as part of that equation as well. But that gives you an idea of kind of what's available. Gold, copper, possibilities, soybeans and corn. Okay, yeah, delayed data will be fine for doing your testing. You've got those are the features. You got the all products link. This is a good site to learn about the contracts on when the contracts are and contract specs and that sort of thing. HG is copper. I think that'll be on NYMEX. No. Interesting. March, May, July, September, and December. So exactly the same schedule as your coffee. It looks like that is on CME. Yeah, it's on COMEX, so it's traded out of Chicago. So exchange time would be Central. It's also 1250 at five ten thousandths of a pound, five ten thousandths of a point per pound, so $12.50 a tick. Let's see. Looks like it may. That's 6 p.m. You looking? Oh, you're looking for something to trade in the evenings? So I'm going to starting to do Bitcoin futures and so forth. Wheat's another possibility. This is also a good place to check for holiday trading hours. Oh, I'm yeah, 6 tick break. Yeah, that's probably about right. You can play around with that. 6.2 or so. Let's see. Your pricing on that would be 0.003 then. You probably wouldn't be able to. You wouldn't be able to do a quarter very well. You might want to look at an 8, 6 or an 8. 8.2 might not be a bad place to be. It's not going to be much richer than what your full crude contract already is. 6.2 or 8.2 would be probably I would expect to be the custom Renko charts to play with. But that's something you just got to look at and see. That was interesting that copper is on exactly the same schedule, as uh, coffee. And what I was going to show you what soybeans actually looks like. 5,000 bushels, dollars and cents per bushel. One-quarter of 1 cent. So that's where the 12.50 a tick comes from. January, March, May, August, September, July, and November are monthlies. Which those are the two that I found basically didn't do anything. So it skips from September back to January on soybeans. So it's not exactly the same as the others. The July and November contracts, I found the volumes basically stayed on these six, these five at all the time. They never got the July and November volumes never got above the others. Now, if Troy is talking about a 6, a 0.006, that would be that's going to be a big bar, I think. What we typically the chart we typically trade on soybeans on counterpunch is a 5-tick range. Yeah, definitely lots to learn. And I think what we were looking at, gosh, I've got to go back and look. I may have to go back and look at my notes there. I'm going to have to wrap it up for today, Sammy. I got an appointment I got to go to. So come back another day and we can go through a little bit more of this if you want to. But those are the things I see. But the CME website is an excellent, is really good resource for working through some of these, learning what the contract specs are, what your whether it's actually a deliverable or financial settlement, that kind of stuff. Have a good one. That's just kind of some of what goes on with picking other markets. But that'll give you some information about symbols and that sort of stuff a lot of times as well. Tick back, minimum price fluctuation. So what a tick actually is, what the value of a tick is, and so forth. And that's how you get there. Looking at deliverables, and when you're talking commodities, looking at deliverables and the price fluctuation to figure out what that price fluctuation is, gives you in total dollars and cents on the deliverable. So that's how we, in a nutshell, how we get to that $10 a tick or $1 a tick for crude or micro crude and so forth. So, but things you have data, you at least have delayed data for, you can put on a chart, look, see if the chart's giving you enough trades, if they're appropriate size, and so forth. And that's part of your sniff test. That's before you ever get to pass testing. And you saw what the chart that I had, the volume chart, daily volume chart that I had set up to compare, one contract to another, and I'll just use that to compare and find out when the volume rolls over. So that becomes my transition point, not necessarily the quote unquote official timing. All right. Well, you have a good one, and I will see everybody tomorrow at 9:30. Regular session 9:30. Crude oil inventory at 10:30 tomorrow. Everybody have a good one.